All right, looking live over downtown Norfolk. Thanks for sticking it out with us here on 13 News Now. It's a beautiful but muggy Sunday morning. Good morning, I'm Arrianee LeBeau.
I'm meteorologist Crystal Harper. Yeah, and I decided I'm embracing the heat.
Okay.
Because summer's almost over, and before we know it, it's going to be really cold again.
Yep, enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah, so I am. It is muggy outside though, and it's going to stay muggy kind of throughout the next week. We're not seeing a whole lot of change, and that's because we have high pressure, but check out those views from our sky cam around Hampton Roads. It's really, really pretty. No matter where you look, Kill Devil Hills just has that almost Toy Story-like sky, and then the Virginia Beach oceanfront really pretty. Hampton, gorgeous as always. We do have some showers to talk about though. That's pushing it onto the eastern shore here, as you can see. They kind of just popped up out of nowhere really quickly and producing quite a bit of lightning as well. Elsewhere though, we're not seeing much of anything on our radar and satellite image. Mostly clear skies, as we saw from our sky view images, and that's how it's going to stay. I shouldn't say clear skies all day. We will have a nice mixture of sun and clouds, but certainly a decent amount of sunshine throughout the day. Temperatures starting off in the upper 60s and low 70s. We're at 69 in Franklin and in Chesapeake, 70 from Smithfield up to Surrey, and then down to Hertford as well, 73 in Norfolk, 71 in Virginia Beach, same thing in Elizabeth City, and 69 degrees this morning in Conway. Now we are dealing with just a little bit of patchy fog this morning. Places like Chesapeake, just slightly reduced visibility there, 6 miles of visibility in Wakefield, and down to about 5 miles of visibility in Petersburg. Not a big deal, but something to keep in mind if you are heading outside. Right now, temperatures, again, we talked about in the low 70s, but throughout the morning we'll keep those temperatures warming up just a little bit into the mid to upper 70s. By midday, temperatures will be well into the 80s, increasing just a few degrees by this afternoon, and that's when we introduce those chances of some isolated afternoon storms. We'll walk through that on Futurecast in just a few minutes. Arrianee?
Well, turning to Washington now, Senator John McCain was honored one last time on the eve of his burial later today. He will be buried at the Naval Academy later this afternoon. But yesterday, mourners packed the National Cathedral to say their final goodbyes. ABC's Elizabeth Hurd takes us inside the ceremony.
A final farewell befitting a political giant.
John has bestowed on us a much-needed moment of unity.
Political leaders and rivals of the past and present all sitting together celebrating the life of Senator John McCain.
I know you can see this gathering here in this cathedral. The nation is here to remember you.
McCain's daughter Megan sharing a tearful tribute, her message at times defiant.
The America of John McCain has no need to be made great again because America was always great.
Megan taking an apparent jab at President Trump, who was reportedly not invited. His name never uttered, but in every speech an underlying reference.
John detested the abuse of power, could not abide bigots and swaggering despots.
So much of our politics can seem small and mean and petty.
Presidents Obama and Bush delivering eulogies at McCain's request honored the late senator as a great leader who embraced differences and served without prejudice.
Isn't that the spirit we celebrate this week? That striving to be better.
We are told the memorial services this entire week, all of them, they were designed by McCain himself with a focus on respect, decency, and unity. Elizabeth Hurd, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
And remember, 4 Oceana-based Super Hornet Squadrons will fly a missing man formation at the senator's funeral today. It's an aerial salute that aviators perform in memory of one of their own. Senator McCain was a naval pilot during the Vietnam War. He was shot down over Vietnam before being held prisoner for more than 5 years.